Jonathan, if I'm looking crazy, you cut it. I'm just kidding. Cuddy. Nah, no.
Cuddy, he gonna be like.
That's what I'm saying. It's so cool because I feel like I know.
That'll be in the video.
Right?
I think, can you make this tighter? It feels like it's.
Yeah.
And then, I guess I should have some notes here. That's why I love Jonathan.
Jonathan is good. Do you know the same day, like the day that he came to the Warwick, the first event that he recorded, that was my first time meeting him in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That was
And then y'all connected because you came, to support and stuff like that. You see how all this just intertwined? I freaking love it.
It all just
We're vessels.
twines and intertwines. You have timer for me?
I do, yeah. So does it sound good? You can hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so different, but...
Yeah.
Welcome to Shift Chats, conversation with Yolanda Williams. The joy factor, infusing fun into your work life. Remember the last time you had a real belly laugh? When was the last time you experienced pure joy? Too often we compartmentalize work and fun as if they belong in two separate rooms. But what if joy was the key to unlocking greater creativity and success? Today, we're talking to my girl, Yolanda Williams, about the joy factor, how injecting fun into your work and life can increase productivity and your overall happiness. My question to you, are you having fun yet? If not, let's find out how to make joy a core part of your daily routine. Remember, the shift is happening now. Welcome to Shift Chats. I am your host, Clarendria Addison, author, therapist, and I'm going to take you on this journey. I have a guest here. Her name is Yolanda.
Her voice sounds so sexy.
Why are you laughing? Right. That's my podcast voice.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
So we have Yolanda Williams here. Yolanda, I say, is a God-fearing entrepreneur, real estate agent, tax preparer, business owner, all the things. So we'll have to get into that, and you'll have to tell me a little bit more about some of those things.
Absolutely.
Did I miss anything? Is there anything that you want to share with the shifters about?
I'm single.
Well, let's get into it. Listen, skip all the notes and go right to.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that. So we'll talk about being single. Mm-hmm. What would you like to share?
Now that caught me off guard. I'm very comical. So
You are
single. Yes. So I am the director of our singles ministry at the Church at Bethel's Family.
Okay.
So I'm super excited about that. Mm-hmm. That's just a little bit. That's a journey that I'm going on right now.
Okay.
Just being single.
So would you say happily single?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. Happily single. And I say that because a lot of people who are single, they look at singleness as like it's something wrong with them.
Right.
I don't see it as something, wrong with anyone. I see it as an opportunity to get closer to God, to learn more about yourself, to grow.
Yeah.
And so for me, being an entrepreneurial, come on.
Right.
It just makes sense, to continue to wait until God sends you that purpose partner, but still live life in abundance.
Okay.
And also to have fun.
Absolutely.
While you're doing it.
Absolutely. I love that purpose partner.
Purpose partner.
I love that. So is there a description for purpose partner?
It's not really a description because I never really thought too deeply about that. I just know that the purpose that God has for you, it has to be aligned with the person that God has for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it just has to be aligned with your purpose and their purpose.
Right.
And it just got to be aligned.
And so we're not just trying to be with anybody we want. a partner that has purpose for themselves, and then for you to have purpose and put that together.
Yes, that alignment too.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm very intentional when it comes to that.
Okay. I love it. Well, I have to ask you, I had you send me a picture.
Okay. Yes.
And so the question is, what would you tell little Yolanda that's in the picture?
What would I tell little Yolanda that's in the picture? I will tell her to never dim your light. I will tell her to be fearless. I will tell her to make sure you have people who are around you.
Yeah.
That see the good in you and also hold you accountable. And I would tell the little Yolanda, I wanted to say something, but I don't know why I just stopped. I will tell the little Yolanda to just be. Don't overthink things. Stand on your faith.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Don't dim your light.
Absolutely.
Be you. Stand on your faith. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah.
That's always when I send people that message, like, send me a picture, and people are always like, oh my God, why do you want a picture? Because for me, all the work that I do it starts with the inner child.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so when I think about myself, I think about things that I would say to little Clarindria, that I'm now able to kind of stand on and know, like, it's okay. It will be okay.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. That's dope.
Thank you for asking.
Yes.
We're getting deep already. Uh-huh. Let's go.
Listen, I wasn't going to stop. You was like, I had to stop. And I was like, why you had to stop? What was you thinking about? This is not a therapy session.
Is it? I'm about to get emotional for a second. I'm like,
listen,
okay.
That's why we have tissue right here.
I love it.
Tissue, because it's funny, because usually, I don't know, what's the quickest I've done? Like, it's 30 seconds in and I'm boo-hooing and I'm thinking, like, well, what the heck happened? How did I end up here? But anyway, we will stay focused for the purpose of this conversation. So, I had made some notes because I wanted to make sure, and you kind of mentioned your church and your involvement with the singles ministry. And what you have going on with there. I did want to kind of get into some of the things that you do for real estate, because one of the things that I'm wanting to share in having this conversation with you is because I feel like you bring joy to your work.
Absolutely.
Like when I look at some of the things you do and some of the workshops and different activities and functions and bringing people together, like we were having that conversation about how we all met. I met Jonathan because of an event that you had.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about what you do in real estate, and then how you kind of connect that to kind of gathering community together, because I think you do a really good job at connecting people.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I've been in real estate for over 10 years.
Okay.
I say over 10 years. I'm really not good with dates. So it could be 11, it could be 12. I just say over 10 years.
Right.
And real estate is a very serious, it's serious. It's a serious job. It's a serious career, because it's that one big financial investment, one of the biggest financial investment that someone could make. So it's very, very serious. And I stay busy a lot, but I always have to find ways to make it fun. And making it fun is getting to know other realtors, getting to know the other real estate professionals, and just doing things that will kind of get outside of the seriousness of real estate, you know, and just the intricacies. So yeah, I like to put together happy hours. I love bringing people together.
Tell me the name of the community.
It's the Real Estate Life HTX.
I love the real estate life.
I get excited about
that. Them little networking events, be a time.
Let me tell you, we have a time, okay? And when we in having a time, different people are commingling with each other, and they're doing business with each other and just connecting. So that's what I love. I love just encouraging other entrepreneurs as well, whether it's in real estate or whatever. But the Real Estate Life HTX is not just for real estate professionals. It could be for anyone, because you came.
I've come a couple of times, and I've made connections and had conversations after that with people, and meetings and consultation. People are like, "Oh, I think I want to do therapy." So I've had some consultations from being a part of that event. So it definitely is for everybody, not just real estate agents.
I just like bringing people together. That's it.
So were you behind the vision of Real Estate HTX, or how did it all come to be?
Yes. So I was a part of this group called the RMG. It's the Real Estate Mastermind group. I believe that's what it is. And that group was just so powerful, because you would think different realtors coming together, it would be some type of competition, but we believed in collaboration over competition. So that was really like important. And you just never know, like a lot realtors could be an asset in your business, because this realtor can have a listing and you're on the buyer side. And, if I bring your client, then, we're working together and we just try to work something out, work the deal out for both of our clients. So you just never know how in real estate, how you can help the next realtor. I never look at it like a competition. I look at it as collaboration. We can help each other, although we're doing the same thing. So
I love that. I don't know who came up with it, but they say they're competing at the bottom and collaborating at the top.
Come on.
So we're going to be doing collaboration.
Yes. So with that, I'm sorry, I know, because you did ask the question. So with that, that group kind of like dissolved, and then so we would do like different events, and a lot of times, especially on social media, when you're seeing people like come together, especially big groups, people are like, they have this FOMO, fear of missing out, or other people on your Instagram or social media will be like, okay, what is she into now? So they're kind of like invested and wanting to follow your journey. So it forced you to kind of like post, it forced you to like tag other people and just have this, your social media being just exciting and busy. And so that kind of fell off. And I said, we still need that community back. We still need that vibe back. So then that's where the Real Estate Life HTX came about. And it is my vision and hope and prayer that in different cities and states we can do it. So it could be a Real Estate Life DTX Dallas, just whatever, Los Angeles, and we all just come together. You just never know. Because I can do real estate. I have a Texas license. I tell people all the time. So I can do real estate anywhere in Texas. But, you can have a real estate agent who have a client who is looking to buy in Houston, and then I can be their referral partner and get business. You just never know.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Real estate all over. So I have to bring this up because I don't know if you have trademarked the Real Estate Texas.
Yeah, why you mention that? Because somebody gonna take that. I need to do this like today.
You need to do it. Listen, and I'm gonna say, because I want to make sure that people have information, which is a part of what we're wanting to do. And so there are these guys that I follow, Earn Your Leisure. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Love them.
Yep.
Yes.
So they were a part of when we did some work with American Family Insurance. They came to be our speaker. So it's probably been almost a little over 2 years that I met them, started following them. And they just had an attorney on recently talking about that. So now I'm like, okay, I got to start investigating this trademark thing, and for myself as well.
Absolutely.
For some different things that I have not done that with yet. So I brought that up, one for education, and that's a big deal when you feel on your spirit and you you want it to be, we have to be making those as entrepreneurs, those investments that then carry on. That can be going on forever.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah,
that's really good. That's what I'm talking about. hold me accountable because I can be very impulsive. Let me tell you, I am a visionary.
Okay.
I see certain things happening and I'm like, okay, got to get on it, got to jump on it. But sometimes those little things, well, it's not little, but the things that we know we need to do, I just kind of, it just go over my head sometimes. But thank you for putting that on my mind.
Yeah, definitely. we'll take notes for that for sure. So there's been a lot of conversation in media about friendships, relationships. I've been doing these topics. I don't know if you've been watching my little series on how to be a good friend.
I love it. I'm like, or I'll comment.
How to be vulnerable. So tell me your thoughts on vulnerability on friendship.
I think it's important. I think if you will call yourself a friend to anyone or someone call themselves a friend to you, then that is an area where it is very important because, if I can't be a friend to you in your most vulnerable time, then who am I? Like, I'm not a surface friend. Like usually my friends are like family to me, and I hold them very, very dear. So if I cannot, lay on your shoulder, cry, or, you're lending an ear, and then it's like, okay, like what are we doing?
So do you feel like that's a criteria for you? Like if you want to build something where you feel like if I need to call on you for emotional support, right, which is kind of what you described, and being able to be vulnerable, then how do you pocket them? Do you feel like, oh, well, I can't necessarily be with this person because they're not able to receive? Or do you have like, because I had this conversation a little while ago and we were talking about, so there's your peers, your associates, friends, there's all these different names that you attach to people. So do you feel like you have different groups based on what you need and then what you're going to offer?
Absolutely. So it's easy to have a friend where you can go and like hang out, have happy hour, just that surface stuff. But honestly, if I call you my friend and if I need you, I'm gonna need you to be there.
Right.
And if you're not able to be there, I would need you to communicate that, hey, I'm not able to, maybe because sometimes friends go through things and I'm not able to be there for you emotionally, but I'm gonna communicate that with you,
check on you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sometimes
I
I don't have the capacity to take on whatever you're going through, but I'm going to communicate that because what I don't want to do is if I'm going through something and I'm giving you bad advice or something because of the kind of mental state that I'm in, but I'm going to communicate, you know, that's it. But I do have them in different pockets. But if you're my friend, then that's, friends are like family to me. But if you're an associate, okay. But I gotta be honest.
My work friend.
I have to be completely honest. I am working on not calling everybody my friend.
We need to pause. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's really loud in here.
Oh, you hear it?
Yeah.
Are they like on the side of the damn house?
It could be.
Yeah, he right here.
Oh, okay. He ain't gonna be there for long.
Oh, he's really right there.
Right, because I was like,
that's
it's
your
like,
people?
No, that's the
Okay.
neighbors. My grass got cut the other day.
Oh, okay, yeah, he right there. It's all good.
What happens in
The
real
grand
time on shift chats?
Okay. That's how you, what they say,
She
keep the
really
grass.
is at home.
And what they say, you keep the grass cut so you won't see the snakes. What is that saying?
See the snakes?
Snakes or something.
Honey.
Talking to my friends. I'm just I don't know who that was for.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt. I hope you're enjoying this episode. I need you guys to do me a favor. This episode with Yolanda is so good. I need you to like, subscribe, and share. You know, the button down here, the red button. Y'all see it? Okay, back to the show. And, we were kind of having that conversation. I was like, there are so many things that I learned from my mom that I would just be like, and just experiences that I've had in life that I wouldn't go back to her. The question that she asked was like, would you change anything or who would you want to be? And I was like, nobody but me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's only one you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So In spite of all of the experiences, I feel like I would not be where I am now had I not been on that journey.
Yes.
Right? The journey of healing, the journey of discovery, the journey of, life.
And becoming. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. He's back. I always say the worst thing that can happen to me, honestly, is I die and I go to hell. Yeah. I've been in situations where I didn't have a place to stay, but I knew that I was going to wake up the next day. Well, I didn't know, but I did.
Right.
Exactly. I woke up the next day. So it's like nothing could, like that. That's why my faith is like so important to me. And it's on fleek because I've been at the bottom, and the worst thing that can happen from the bottom is I die and go to hell. That's the worst thing that can happen to me.
Right.
And it's not going to happen. So I can get through a lot of things.
Yeah. That's real deep because none of us want to be in that place. Honey.
Yeah, no. Thank you for sharing, though. That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can
Continue.
get back on track here. I don't even know where we were, but we'll just go from where we have. So when I think about, and I don't want this to be like a relationship conversation, but I do have your thought on the struggles of, and this may or may not pertain to you, but the struggles of, because, we hear on like, everybody's talking about relationships and what we want from a man and what we want from a woman and all the things. What are your thoughts around like being able to connect with like a well-rounded partner, being that you are a God-fearing woman, because you mentioned early purpose, partner, what are your thoughts on that?
So as it relates to what, like in business or like what?
Well, as it relates to like relationship and like how to make that happen and not be, like following all of the things. So my point was like, we see all this stuff on social media, but I'm like, ooh, that's not really real.
Yeah.
And people are just kind of like talking. So just adding to that and not, in a way of, I'm in church. I'm believing in God. I'm believing that this experience is going to happen for me.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I can just say I personally can't settle until I have that priest, provider, and protector. I don't need anyone to be perfect, but of course they have to be perfect, like for me.
Right.
It is a challenge sometimes when you are serving in ministry at the church, and not only serving in ministry, you're an entrepreneur as well. So you're looked at as being like this very independent person. But I'm here to tell you, like, I am okay with being a man's helpmate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay. I have to do what I do because it's only me.
Right.
And believe it or not, I'm like one of the only one that's in my family that is at this age that either has never been married or don't have any kids. Like I have literally 18 nieces and nephews.
Okay.
And that's also with the great nieces. And, so I have nieces who actually have kids.
Yeah.
And so to be honest, I wanted to be that person that will break that generational cycle. Because in my family, I see nothing but, either, you're, I don't want to say baby mama, God dog it.
Childless.
What it is.
Fatherless day.
I mean,
how do you say
it did if you say kids out of wedlock. It's like either way you go, like depending on the person that's listening, gonna perceive it a different way. But whatever, you get my point.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be different. I wanted to break that generational cycle. And then of course, when you get closer to God, like you just don't want anyone in your life, So it definitely has been challenging. And when you look at social media,
right,
of course, like it's going to make you feel like something is wrong with you because I am 41. Okay. Excited to say that. 41.
41. Look great. Okay.
Thank you. 41 and no kids. And, I can't say I'm career driven, but I'm purpose driven, and that can scare some people away. Right. But, it's okay because when you're authentically yourself, like, hey, I mean, he's going to come.
Right.
The Bible said that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. And I am that favor and that good thing. So I'm excited. It's funny that you say that too, because I, network a lot. I'll go to happy hour. And I remember having this conversation with this guy. And he said being 41 with no kids and had never been married is a red flag. And so going through this single journey, especially in ministry and kind of learning that singleness is not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing, an opportunity for you to get closer to God, learn about yourself. I would have responded a little bit different.
Okay.
Honestly, I probably would have been offended. But that was my opportunity to really understand and let him know and educate him on why first, I choose not to settle. Because he don't know about my family dynamic. Right. And then it gave me an opportunity to educate him about, why singleness is important and waiting for that your purpose partner.
Right. And there's a time in everyone's life, and thank you for sharing that. There's a time in everyone's life where you're supposed to be alone.
Absolutely.
Right. Because you need to be working on you and figuring out, what do you like? What do you desire? Not getting into a situation and now you're all of the things of this person.
Yes.
And you have no identity.
Yeah.
Right. When somebody asks you, what do you like to do? Well, I don't know. My husband well, no, what do you like to do?
Yeah.
How are you able to entertain yourself? Right. So
oftentimes you hear people say, yeah, I want to be married or he makes me happy. Or a person should add to your happiness. So when you become whole, they become whole, and then y'all come together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I want to be married because, it's going to take me to this. Yeah, it will take you to a different level, in certain cases. But when it comes to your happiness, you need to have that before you do find, a person.
That's been one of my main things. You got to have your own happy. Because I can, like you're saying, add to it, but I can't make you happy.
Absolutely.
I've said before in relationship, I can't dream your dream for you.
That is so good. Yeah. And so I'm always a student. I think I was telling you earlier, I can learn from anybody. I can learn from a baby. I can learn patience from baby. Right. Because I lack patience sometimes. Okay.
Acknowledge
you gotta know yourself.
Right.
So, I'm always asking people. I love sitting at the feet of people who know more than me. So if you've been married for 30 years, even if you have been divorced, I'm gonna ask these questions. Yeah. And I'm gonna ask these questions because to me, I think that God allowed you to go through this journey so that way you can share it with other people and be a blessing. So absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And it's funny you bring that up because in my being married, we were together 18 years, married 11. And, I've been asked well, why did you stay so long and what made you leave? And for me, I really have to say that I didn't know who I was. Right. So everything was kind of clouded, and I mentioned that again in my book about being in this coma. So everything was kind of I'm just going through these motions so that I can get to the next thing. Right. And, making sure that my kids are taken care of and doing, all of these things. So I definitely would say for people who are, especially the young folks, because we were really young. And I also say that. And now, my ex and I, we're cool. I can call him and be hey, the kids are, and the grown kids be cutting up. So,
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? We have a very amicable, communicative relationship. There's an understanding, say it without being said. Yeah. But being able to have that now when I talk to, when we're working with youth and having these conversations, people really have to know themselves before you get into relationship.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't know what you want, that person is not going to be able to be that, do that, any of that. Yeah. If you don't even know where it starts. So and
also healing those inner trauma, the traumas, because sometimes we can put that on other people. I remember you would have certain triggers, but I didn't know what those triggers were stemming from. So I went to this class at my church. It was called Transforming Emotions. So it dealt with loneliness, rejection, and fear. And so what we had to do is kind of regurgitate a lot of the stuff that we didn't heal properly. Because I would just have these like, if somebody do something to me or my ex or my boyfriend at the time, you will react. Well, why am I reacting that way? Why did it bother, and then what I would do is carry it on to my other relationship and it wouldn't be good.
Right.
So you have to heal those things and heal it the right way. So that way you can move forward in a healthy relationship or marriage,
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And that is very critical. And I do have to say, this is a shameless plug, but one of the things that we do in the Shift program is address inner child.
I love it.
Because that is where it starts. And I don't care where you're coming from. There is some experience or something that has likely happened, right? Which causes you to respond in a way. So I always like to, kind of make sure people know, like, my approach is not traditional therapy. I'm more of a holistic therapist. It's mind, body, and spirit. Like, I'm wanting to help you understand all the things. It ain't about me. It's about me helping you understand just what you described. Like, I'm responding to you because of an experience that I had when I was 7. Has nothing to do with you and all to do with I never dealt with those emotions as a 7-year-old. So now when you do X, it makes me respond this way.
Right.
So you're really not getting the adult Yolanda. You're getting the 7-year-old.
Yeah. That suppressed a lot of the stuff, but it comes out in your actions. So absolutely. I'm proud of him. Just don't make me cry. Okay. I'm still evolving here. Okay?
We're not gonna cry. Okay. So I have a couple questions I'll ask. Look, because we'll be here for a while. What role does self-discovery and personal growth play in entrepreneurship, and how do you continue to evolve?
What role does personal growth play in self-discovery? I would say in entrepreneurship, you're always evolving, like you're always growing. I mean, I did not know entrepreneurship would be this hard. You have to be very resilient, in entrepreneurship. So you're always going to grow. Like, everything is not going to be how you think. Because if you look at social media, people show the story of the glory, but not the story. Right, so you're thinking, they show the glory and not the story.
Yes.
Okay? So you're thinking that it's easy and people are going to support you and your family is going to support you and things like that. And yes, you might have some family that supports you or friends that support you, but that's not always the case. And so you have to just learn how to be resilient and still just like push forward.
Right.
That's going to be times where you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel misunderstood sometimes, but you have to just really push through that and be resilient. Just keep your eye on the prize and keep people around you that will be accountability partner. And even if you don't have an accountability partner, you have to have faith.
Right.
And I say that because, I did go through a season where I was homeless, right? And I was sleeping on my cousin's couch, because I was going through entrepreneurship. I had no idea.
Right.
If I can, hindsight is 20/20. If I could do it all over again, I would do some things different, but I'm glad that I went through it.
Okay.
Because now I'm able to help other people and help other youth who have a vision of owning a business and things like that. So I'm glad I'm have the testimony to share.
Right.
But it was very, very, it was tough.
Okay.
And I remember still having a vision. Like, I didn't have a plan B. Some people have a plan, you have the plan A, then you have a plan B just in case it doesn't work out. Well, I refused to have a plan B because I was like, I'm just going to let the plan A just do what it does,
And that was the process.
Yeah. And then my faith was challenged in a lot of different ways, but it allowed me to get closer to God because at the end of the day, it was sometimes and some days I just didn't know what to or who to turn to.
Right.
But the good thing about real estate is we have a lot of events, you know, and it was times where I didn't have money to eat or, you know, have dinner or lunch, but these events and stuff will afford me the opportunity to eat because you have free events, free food, free drinks and things like that.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for sharing, because that's a powerful testimony. One, to be able to have the experience, and two, to be able to be okay with sharing it.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because that is a part of who you are now. Right. So I have to ask then, what would be one or two things that you would say you learned, like you said, hindsight now looking back, potentially that you would have done differently to maybe not end up in that situation? Or do you feel like that was the journey, and or both?
It was the journey for me, because everybody's journey is different. Everybody's pathway to success is totally different.
Right.
and believe it or not, like I come from a family on my dad's side that my grandfather and grandmother were entrepreneurs.
Okay.
You know, it's just that, you know, our parents really don't be sharing stuff. So I didn't know until so I was like older, you know, and I didn't have an opportunity to really ask those questions to help me. So I kind of learned it along the way. But what I would tell someone is get a mentor, you know, get a mentor. And if you are working a 9 to 5, allow that 9 to 5 to kind of fund, you know, like it's like what is it called? Like a seed, a seed planter or something like that. Like, and do that.
Right.
I can be very impulsive, which could be good and bad. Okay. So it's good in the entrepreneurial realm, because sometimes when you think long, you think wrong.
Right.
You know, and sometimes when God gives you this vision, sometimes you can think yourself out of it because you're so fearful. But for me, I'm just like, hey, I'm just going to jump. Let's figure it out. So that could be good in some areas, but in some areas it you know, will probably work against you. Yeah. But I would just say get a mentor. And also, if it's something that you know that you want to do, then don't have a scapegoat. Don't have a plan B. It's weird, and some people probably have a different way of thinking about that. Yeah. But if you know that there's something that you want to do, do not have a plan B, because when you have a plan B, the first thing that scares you, or if something happens that you did not expect, that's going to be your scapegoat. Right. Your safe, you know, spot.
I love that. And it is, I think part of that process is the belief in yourself, right? And if it's supposed to be, it will. Absolutely. And if it's not, I feel like things will continue to happen that make you be like, okay. And then if you're putting in the effort and you're like, okay, I'm back up again, like that's a part, you know, I talk about that all the time. Like that's a part of the journey, you know, of entrepreneurship in itself. It's like there's going to be some good and some bad times, but also planning, you know, and having a plan and, you know, implementing it and trusting in yourself really is probably one of the biggest things.
Yep. That's it.
All right. Well, I have a couple of final questions that I need to ask.
Okay. I'm ready for it.
First question is one piece of advice related to healing and or entrepreneurship that you want to share with the shifters.
Healing is a journey. I can say that. I think whenever you are in the journey of healing, you have to be very honest with yourself. That is very important. When I went through the transforming emotions class, I had to be very honest with myself. It was like 6 months. Oh God.
That's a good course.
It was a lot. Actually, because I had a lot of resentment growing up until an adult, like with my parents, you know, mom and dad and stuff. I'm like, well, if I knew this, you know, like little stuff like that. And so I remember going through the transforming emotions class, and I really couldn't really talk to my mom like that. Okay. You know, because I felt like if she said something, it would probably trigger me, and then I would, you know, go backwards instead of forward. But yeah, you have to heal so that way you can start moving forward and start having those healthy relationships, because believe it or not, it really affects your entrepreneurial journey and just your life period. For me, I can speak for myself personally, because in entrepreneurship, like, you have to trust people as well. You know, you have to trust people. So if you really don't trust in your personal life, especially those closest to you, and also building relationships, I can honestly say, oh my God, I've never shared this. Okay. This, you get an exclusive.
Exclusive with Yolanda.
But so I really need to work on, even still, following up with people, right? I can close a deal, and the follow-up, that's where the money is, you know? But I can work a deal with someone, and it would just be that. A transaction. Like, when I'm in the transaction, I'm very involved. You know, like, you know, it's I'm your realtor. Like, whatever you need. But after that, it's like, okay, you know, like, it's no follow up. And it was something in that where I don't want to get close to people. I didn't want to get close to people.
Right.
Or get close, you know, like, that really, it affected my business. So I had to look at that. And that's something that I really kind of like discovered about myself. I didn't want to get too close because, you know, you just feel like when people get close to you, you know, you can potentially be hurt or betrayed and things like that. But that I know that stemmed with the relationships with family, you know. So when that's healed, you get a different, you get confident, you know, a lot of, confidence in yourself. And I don't know, like, building those relationships is a lot easier.
Yeah.
So, does it make sense?
That. Oh, absolutely. and I thank you for sharing that, because I think it's important. One, that what you did, like, you acknowledge that this is something that I need to work on. What I always tell people is that the journey is ongoing, right? We're always growing, never grown. Like, it's linear. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are all never healed, right? Absolutely. Like, we get to a place where we can start to receive information and accept, you know, some feedback and learn and try to be better. Right? That's the journey.
Yep. That's it. That's it.
Thank you for that.
But you gotta be honest with yourself. Yeah.
The truth will set you free.
Hello.
Next question. If you could host a dinner with 1 to 3 people, dead or alive, who and what's one question you would ask?
If I can host a dinner, dead or alive. Okay.
It's okay.
This is going
to dinner.
Because people be thinking like I'm so like, I am a spiritual person, okay? But the first thing that came to my mind was like Jesus. Okay. Like, honestly, you know, I have some some questions
for you.
For real, okay? So it will be Jesus. It will also be my grandfather.
Okay.
And then it will be my grandfather. And it will be, because you have grandfathers on the other side, you know, east side. It'll probably be both of them.
Okay. So maternal and paternal grandfather. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And Jesus. And what question are you asking?
I got a lot of questions.
Pick one.
Okay. One of the questions I would ask him is, when you are trying to fulfill a purpose that sometimes you don't even know that he has for you, why is a journey so tough or difficult? And sometimes, why do you allow certain things to happen? You know, I know in the spiritual realm, like, I kind of answer this question, like, he allows certain things to happen so you could be a testimony for other people. That too, but it's just some things that people have endured that, you know, sometimes people don't bounce back from. You know, so why do you allow that stuff to kind of like happen? Like, why is our journey, does it have to sometimes be so tough?
I had this conversation a couple of days ago with someone, and it not a part of the podcast, but we were just having a conversation. And he said, part of the reason to that is that if we knew the journey, would we do it? If it was all laid out in front of you, like, you're going to go through this, you'll meet this person, they going to do that to you, you're going to be homeless. Who's going to sign up for that?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's like if you see the reward, it's like, let's go, you know.
But would you really, though? Right. If you think about all the pain and the hurt and the, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, to his point, I don't know if I want, like, let me just go through the journey.
Yeah.
And when I get to the other side of what, you know, and what that looks like and the prize and whatever, you know, that is the testimony.
That's the testimony.
So that's why otherwise it'll be just like, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes, you know, I think about that. Like when I go through certain things, I'm like, Lord, why? I am tired of these tests. Okay. I feel like I feel like I've, you know, passed these tests. And
sometimes the test is for one more lesson.
It could be, but you know, I want to ask him why.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, you have those moments where he's not saying anything. You know what I mean? Like he's not answering because you can ask, you know, but he'll just come and show up whenever, you know, he wants. So it's just probably that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, we go on for hours about talking to the Lord, honey. Last question. What is one piece of wisdom or mantra that you live by that you can share with the shifters?
One piece. Okay. So I live by, and this is so cool because my favorite scripture is, you can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. Yes. And guess what that is? Philippians 4:13. And 4:13 happens to be my birthday.
There
April
you go.
13.
Yes.
No, honestly. And you can do it. And because the journey that I have been through, you know, like you literally you can do, it's not a cliche. And I say that because when I was going through that season, that was very challenging for me. I'm not sure. Do you know Dr. Miles Monroe? Well, yeah, girl, you got to go YouTube him. Okay. And he was talking about fasting, like a 21-day fast. Girl, I don't know why. I know why. You know, that particular episode was dropped in my spirit. I started listening to it. And then, so I woke up one morning and the Holy Spirit said, fast. And I was like, and this fast was just not any fast. It was fasting from food. The only thing that you can do is drink water.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So when people say you can do whatever you put your mind to, it was not a cliche. So I woke up one morning and I was literally living with my cousin. I was sleeping on her couch.
Okay.
And the Holy Spirit said 21 days. And I was looking, I said, especially, you know, in real estate around Christmas time, you have these free events where you have food and drinks and things like that. So that was like, sometimes I didn't have money to get anything. And I was, you know, could be too prideful to really just ask people because you want people to see that you're strong, that you're doing, you know, whatever. So I said no. But then it was just convicting me 21 days. So I was like, dang, okay. Right. So literally for 21 days, and I did it twice, I fasted. I had no food. It was only water. Okay. And during that fast, the only thing was your mindset. You have to be mentally strong to go 21 days with no food and just water, right? Yeah. And so I did it. And then, of course, you know, you're praying and stuff. And it was after that fast, that's when things started to really change.
Come more clear.
Yeah. It was amazing. Then, so I did it again, too. I was like,
thank you, Jesus.
Yeah. So literally, I can do all things through Christ that gives me strength because that was the only thing that could allow me to really get through that. That was tough.
I love that. Thank you.
You can do whatever you put your mind to.
Absolutely. There you go.
That's it.
Thank you.
You're
Remember,
welcome.
the shift is happening now.